o'clock, and I'd like to call together the November 30th, 2023 school committee meeting. Would join me in rising for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sharon Piotrowski.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, this evening we've got a short agenda, so we'll start. We've got a consent agenda posted, which is the minutes from the November 16th, 2023 meeting, as well as the oath to bills and payroll. A motion to accept.
Move that we accept the consent agenda. I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we'll mark that unanimous. We'll pause for our first opportunity for interested citizens. We're quite lonely tonight in the audience, and
we do not have any interested citizens.
All right, we will move right along for a recognition portion of the evening. So, Jay, thank you for joining us this evening. I believe you have a student representative report to give.
Yes.
Thank you.
So for Russell Street, the Russell Street students and staff did not let the weather dampen their spirits last week as they did their turkey trot laps inside the building instead of on the track. And students also enjoyed bingo themed crosswords and word searches to celebrate. And the school would like to say thank you to many of the families who came out on Wednesday for the parent-teacher conferences, and a special thanks to the PTA for providing snacks for the staff. The Russell Street School PTA also had its book fair this week, and they'd also like to thank all the volunteers for their help. And just an update on grades, the Russell Street Term 1 grades close tomorrow, December 1st. For the middle school ended their last week with the best Turkey Olympics ever. And congratulations and thank you to all the staff and students who made it such a great day. For the high school, on November 29th, which was yesterday, was parent-teacher conferences, which went very well. December 1st through 3rd, so Friday through Saturday and Sunday, will be LHS performances of Macbeth. And on December 4th, there's a PTA meeting at 9 a.m. On December 12th, the LHS has a winter concert at 7 p.m. And there's also been a couple new clubs that have formed, including the Asian Student Association, Alzheimer's Awareness Club, and the Podcast Club. Yeah, that's all.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Superintendent Clenchey?
Just a couple, and you all received a press release last week, I guess it was now. U.S. News and World Report also gave our middle school a high ranking. So in terms of middle schools in the state of Massachusetts, middle school ranked 138 out of 1,040 middle schools. And to be recognized by the U.S. News for best middle schools, you have to be within the top 40% of middle schools throughout the nation. So once again, congratulations to the middle school.
Throughout the nation, you said?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So two different rankings.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd just like to echo what Jay said. First high school play is scheduled to take place this weekend. Macbeth, 2 evening performances at 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock Saturday, and a matinee at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So anybody who's watching, I'm not sure how many are watching tonight, but if you are, you have a free night, please come out and support the high school play.
Excellent. Thanks so much. All right, we'll move on to the presentation portion of the evening. This is a night for Steve Mark. So you were up first with the financial updates.
Yeah. So the report's in your packet. Sometimes I feel like a broken record when I'm talking about this. We're in good shape this year. We don't have any issues. There's nothing to be concerned at this point in time. We've been fortunate this year with the weather in November, and it's been a mild November. So hopefully we get through the rest of the winter with a mild winter. But so again, we're watching utility. We'll watch utilities because that's been an issue over the last couple of years. But there's really nothing major that we're concerned about at this point in time on the financial side of things. We're in good shape.
Great. Any questions from the school committee? I don't have any. Oh. We just had a budget subcommittee meeting, so we've reviewed some of the information. So thank you very much. And presentation number 2, an update on the crisis go.
Yep. Give me where did it go? Give me 1 second here. I gotta go find it.
Sure.
Okay, so, if you remember the last meeting, Officer Wazinski was up, our resource officer, giving information about safety and security protocols. One of the things she mentioned was the ALICE drills. One of the things in the ALICE drills is communication, and communicating with staff during emergency situations. So we have partnered with a company called Crisis Go. It's an app that people can use on their phone, their desktop, their Chromebooks, their laptops. That is a communication device. It's a communication tool. And what I'd like to do is play a very short video from Crisis Go off of their website. Where's the sound?
Is quick and easy, but life is
I'm going to start over.
We like it when life is predictable, like when we know when it's going to rain, and when our morning commute is quick and easy.
You can't hear it?
But life is unpredictable, and crisis.
Okay. Sorry, let me try this one more time. Sorry.
Okay.
We can hear it from your laptop.
Can you hear it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me try it one more time, because,
We like
sorry. There we go.
When life is predictable, like when we know when it's going to rain and when our morning commute is quick and easy. But life is unpredictable, and crisis can happen anytime, anywhere, and without warning. We think it won't happen here, but life-threatening events can and do happen anywhere. All organizations need to be prepared to keep their stakeholders safe when the unthinkable does happen here. The key to minimizing the loss of life and property is reacting immediately and effectively. But this is the biggest challenge to organizations today. In these moments, every second counts, and Crisis Go gives you the tools you need to respond quickly. Crisis Go enables you to send out instant alerts to notify everyone of the crisis, provide tools to help all your people clearly understand how to react in an emergency, providing an effective response, efficiently communicate and coordinate with first responders in the critical first minutes of a crisis to mitigate disasters and save lives. Make sure your organization is ready when every second counts by contacting us for more information.
So very, very short presentation. So we have partnered with Crisis Go. We're in the process of implementing that app. There's a lot of setup work we have to do. A lot of data connection between our student and information systems and the app and the company, so that we can download information. If there's an emergency, teachers will be able to see rosters right from their phone, right through the app, in order to do student check-ins and things like that. Maps of the building, so that the first responders, if there's an incident, they can see exactly where that call is placed from within the building, directly through the app. So there's a lot of setup to it. We initially thought that setup was just a couple of months, but as we talked to other districts that have implemented this partnership with Crisis Go, it's a 9 to 12 month implementation process. It's taken a lot longer than we anticipated. So there's a lot of setup. There's a lot of options we have to go through and pick and choose and things like that. So we started that. We're in the middle of that. And when we get closer to getting ready to implement that, we'll come back to the committee and give a short demo. But that's where we're at with Crisis Go. So it's a cool tool that can use for communication if an evacuation has to happen, or if it teachers in a classroom and they need help, they can hit their button on their phone or on their desktop, and it instantly responds to 911 and the emergency services. So that's where we're at. I'd be glad to answer questions if I can.
I don't have any. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have one question that it's a very cool program, but it relies in part on teachers using their personal devices to download.
No, they can use their district issued laptop,
okay,
or Chromebook, or
so it
desktop.
would be like voluntary for the teacher to download the app.
It's voluntary if they want to put it on their phone,
Yeah.
on their personal device.
I mean, that's to be honest, when it's most effective is when it's on the phone, but
Yeah, I would
if it's
agree.
somebody's personal device, you can't make them do that.
Right, I would agree.
Yeah.
And, but they have that option.
When we've talked to other districts that have implemented this program, within the first 6 to 8 months, most teachers are using the apps on their phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's-
I mean, it's to
Takes a bit of
everyone's
time.
benefit for them to use their phone.
Yeah, it's their protection as well as their students.
Right. But no, it's great. I'm glad the district is going in this direction.
Yeah.
I've got it on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
let us know what you think of it.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, from my last
The
district.
last district.
Can I just ask a clarifying question? Is this also the app where teachers will be able to communicate with parents if there ever is an evacuation? Is
No.
that what's linking? That's
It's
what
not
I'm
parents.
notifying.
It's communicating with district staff, emergency personnel,
Okay,
who will then coordinate
Okay.
reunification plans and things like that.
okay, so we don't have any app or software that is helping us with the reunification plans.
Well, we have-
Like we have this many kids are here with me right now. This
We
student
wouldn't-
is not
Yeah,
here.
we wouldn't communicate that out to the public. It would be a safety risk. So we do have Blackboard Connect. We can use the police department's reverse 911. When you're in a situation like that, your communication needs to be tailored to the issue at hand. And then during the reunification, that's when we reach out to the broader community. Cell lines, phone lines can be jammed very quickly, and we want to make sure that our communication is crisp. I mean, the whole point of doing this is to cut down the time if we ever had a crisis, so that there's instant communication. It's easy to locate somebody in a school that shouldn't be there, and the quicker the response time, the better the results. So that's what we're really looking for here. Schools that have used it have given this program great accolades, and it's something we've been tossing around for about 6 or 8 years. But when it first came out, we just weren't quite sold on it, but they've made some real good improvements since then.
Great.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. I'll have a brief pause to see if anyone's joined us. A second opportunity for interested citizens.
No, we do.
None.
No, we do not have any. We do not have anyone.
Perfect. Thank you, Dorothy. We'll move on to subcommittee reports. Policy subcommittee's got some material here, but we'll just take them in order. So PMBC.
Not had a meeting since our last.
Okay. I'll save it for the Shaker. I'll save my question for the Shaker Lane Building Committee. So budget subcommittee. Budget subcommittee had a meeting last week or the week before last week. I'm flying. I'll just announce to the members at large and the community. We've got some preliminary budgeting numbers together, which have been submitted to the town at this point in time. So it looks like fiscal year 25 budget request for an increase would be in the neighborhood of about $1.3 million, which represents a 5.34% increase on top of current year's budget. It's our first look at it. A lot of that has to do with salaries and payroll, but that's our sort of our starting point right now. And Steve gave the presentation on the year-to-date spend and everything. Everything looks to be in good order there. Anything additional, right?
No.
Now, when we reviewed some of the capital projects, the timeline of the planning, and a little bit more work to do on that, but
Right.
We'll tackle that as we go. Policy subcommittee wants to lead on that. Is it Bino?
I just have to be, so I can do it if
Bino?
everybody's fine with that.
Yeah, that'd be great, Kelly. Thanks.
We took a look at these policies last meeting. We did a first reading. We did find one policy that needed some pronoun changes, so that's been changed. At this point in time, if nobody has questions, it's certainly welcome the motions as written on the agenda.
Can I just ask a quick question before we vote?
Sure.
On the school council policy, like at the bottom of the third paragraph, it talks about the there's a representative process that's approved by the superintendent and school committee. Can you tell me what that process is for recruiting people for school council?
About the process for a second here.
So
I mean,
Like, do we have?
they hold elections during the meeting. The only stipulation that I really monitor is to make sure that that one administrator is the chair and a parent is the co-chair. But other than that, it's pretty standard. I mean, so
And does every school have a school council or were they?
that's mandatory by statute. So yes, they do.
Okay. And then there was another policy about advisory committees. Do we have any advisory committees to the school committee? Or is this just a preemptive thing just in case?
We have in the past, the bus, or the school start time committee was an advisory committee. That usually advisory committees are formed and then when their task is completed, they're dissolved.
Okay, so right now.
Right now we do not.
Schcmte Building Committee, I suppose, would qualify.
It's a little beyond the advisory because they have decision-making authority.
Okay.
And it's really a town committee with.
No, yeah, that's right. It's not just made up of us, right? Yeah. I was just reaching for an example.
Yeah. Yeah, those were my only questions and I appreciate the changes in the pronouns. It reads much better.
That was a good catch. Yeah, everybody had a chance to take a look at them twice now.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. All right. I'll make the motion. I don't have time. So I move to accept second reading of the following modified policies. It's BDFA, BEC, BEDB.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we'll mark that unanimous. And then I will motion to accept the second reading of the following policies as current. That's BDF, BDG, BE, BEDD.
Move to approve.
Right, motions made and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. We'll mark that unanimous as well. So thank you for getting that work done. Tabino and Kelly. Schcmte Building Committee update. Stacy, please.
Yep, so no updates since our last meeting, other than that the MSBA has approved the OPM firm, so Turner Townsend Geary. So we have a meeting as a committee on December 6th to meet with their team and just get our teams together and just start discussing kind of goals and objectives.
What team is this?
What's that?
What team is it?
The Turner Townsend Geary. That's the OPM firm that's going to be consulting us through the next process. Okay. Yeah.
And the entire Schcmte Building Committee is going to meet with those folks.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a virtual meeting.
Yet, but yeah.
Good. My question about that was there was some communication and some follow-up. I don't know if you're on those emails or not. Maybe just I am as the chair, but there was a document that MSB, what is it? MSBA needed. Like they kind of sent like a second follow-up, and then ultimately we heard from the OPM that basically it was on the schedule for the select board to make a motion to make it official. I just feel like they're asking us for stuff and it like takes them to ask us twice before the select board actually has it on their agenda. So I'm wondering if we can just clean the timeline up a little bit, because I don't ever want to get caught where we're having to rush something. And I'm not saying that it has anything to do with your role, Stacey. I'm just wondering if we can kind of.
Yeah, so what MSBA was asking for was a signed copy of the OPM contract.
Right.
And we told MSBA, and they knew it even before they sent the email, that we needed to have a building committee meeting to formally vote to sign the contract.
Right.
Before we can send it to MSBA. So they were a little ahead of the curve.
Okay.
But that's what the second request was.
Yeah. They gave us how long to get that turned around, typically?
Initially, it was like 2 days or something like
okay.
that. So, but we had to schedule the meeting because it's a long story. But MSBA, you have to cross all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah.
We want to make sure the committee takes a formal vote to authorize the committee to enter into that contract, and then they can enter into it.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Any other subcommittee reports that aren't listed on the agenda? I'd be okay with accepting any if we have any. No, nothing. Okay. If there's no other new business or old business before the committee, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Motion made by Elaine.
Second.
Seconded by Stacy. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All All right, good night.
Wow, that's a record.
Well,
Night,
20
everyone.
that's gotta be.
That's
Wait.
what- you don't-
It'll be in the history books.
That's gotta be right.
Good night. Good night.
Right,
Bye,
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Good night.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Wow, is that the fastest ever?